Go. Good morning, everyone. Let's get started. Go ahead and find the end of your mat. It is a cold, cold day. Go ahead and roll your shoulders. Good. Go ahead and take a deep breath up. And just exhale. Open up the back of your throat as you exhale. Good. Do that again. Inhale. And exhale. So you don't have to breathe through your nose, but in and out of your nose is optimal. But if you can't, maybe you're stuffy from allergies or something, you can always breathe through your mouth, but you want to keep your mouth very relaxed. It's almost like the breath is truly, I mean, it is, but coming from the back of your throat versus piercing your lips and going, we don't want to do that. We want to stay nice and loose. Reach behind you and open up. Lift your heart toward the ceiling. Good. Take another breath up. And this time we're going to crisscross those hands, place them behind the back of your head. Pull your elbows open. Good. Now focus on your shoulder blades squeezing together. Good. Now we're not pulling on our head. We're just going to let the elbows come forward and let the weight of our arms just gently carry us over. So I'm not pulling, I'm just allowing my head to fall. Breathe into the back of your neck here. Good. Release that. Take a deep breath. Bend your knees, soft fold. Good. Bring your hands to your shins or up to your thighs. Straighten your back. Do stay off the knees. Good. Standing extension, lengthen. We've got Moose joining us again today. Say hi. Take a deep breath. Exhale. Go ahead and fold that. Now, we're not that warm, so it's okay if you can't go as low as you think you should be going. Good. We're just going to walk all the way back to downward dog or tabletop if you need that modification. Press the heels down. Take a second here and just pedal. So we're just going from heel to heel. Now, if you're in tabletop, you can still do that. You would just push one foot to the back, set that down, push the other foot to the back and set that down. That would be your modification. And come forward into plank. Good. So remember, if we're in tabletop, when we come forward into plank, we're shifting our hips forward. And you may want to walk your hands out a little bit. Chaturanga, lower that heart just before it hits the floor. Sweep the body up into up dog. Good. If you want to advance this, the farther you walk your hands under your body, the more you're going to extend upward. And of course, if you need less, walk those hands further out and the less you'll be extended. Good. Tuck your feet, lift to downward dog. And we're going to step forward, lift your left leg, and then step forward with your left leg. Come up to high lunge. Inhale. And on your exhale, twist your lunge here. Go towards your left. Keep your shoulders over your hips. So we don't want to lean forward here. Good. Hands to the floor. Step back to downward dog. Take a breath. Lift your right leg. Step forward with your right leg. Come up to high lunge. Inhale. Exhale and twist. Good. Both hands come forward to the floor. Inhale, step in, standing extension. Exhale and fold. Bend your knees, lift your gaze, press through your feet, and unhinge. Good job. Take a breath. Hands come into prayer. Good. We're going to go into chair, just generate a little bit of heat. So if your feet need to be wider, this is fine. Okay. If we go wider, then we're in a different pose, which is fine if that's what you need to do. But ideally, our feet are together, but we have to go with how we're built. So if you notice, if I put my feet apart, my knees still touch. Do you see that? Because I'm bow-legged. All right. So when I drop down, this is fine, but I need to make sure that I pull my knees outward so that they're in line with my toes. So I don't want to do this. Okay. Well, I want to do that, but I shouldn't. All right. Take a breath and just sink into this chair here. Your feet can be together. Your feet can be slightly apart. I like to take my feet about 2 inches apart. This is where I tend to live. So there's just a little bit of space that feels right for me, but this is okay too. This would not be okay, right? That's not usually a problem. Good. Hands are coming up. We're going to drop our shoulder blades into the back pockets. Pull your core in. It's just like you're holding a plank, but you're standing. Now, if you don't like your arms up, bring them right here. I'll keep your heart rate a little bit lower. Good. Now, we're going to work with some movement here today. So watch what we're going to do. I'm coming down with my hands. Good. And I'm going to come up with my body. So my hands and my arms or my hands and my arms, they're going in the same direction. My legs and my arms are going in opposite direction. So I'm going to inhale and then exhale. Inhale and then exhale. Right. Now, how low you go, that's completely up to you. If you're doing little tiny baby ones, that's fine too. If you want to remove the arms altogether, do that. As you inhale, as you go down, really feel that ability to expand the lungs. Try to breathe all the way into your back, all the way down into your belly. Now, try not to rush this, but make your breath match. So I want my inhale or my squat to go as long as my inhale is going, and my exhale to go as long as my lift is going. Let's do 4 more, wherever you're at. Maybe these last few we do with a little more intention, squeezing. If your legs are together, squeeze your knees together. And 1 more. Good. Roll your shoulders. Good. Bring the hands into prayer. Inhale up. You could do a little baby back bend here if you want to. Exhale, hinge and fold. Legs are straight. Just stop wherever you need to. Might be the shins, might be the top of the feet. And bring yourself up into standing extension. And bend your knees, hands to the floor. Step back with your right foot and then walk your left foot toward the left side of your mat. Right foot turns. We're coming up into warrior one. So my hips and my shoulders are at the top of my mat. Right. So use your core. Pull this around. Now, if we have tight hips, it's easy to sort of pitch forward and we relieve the pressure in our hips. But I don't want you to do that. I want you to find this place that challenges you, but obviously not that hurts you, right? So anytime we're doing yoga, we should always feel like we're in a position, any position. We could hold it for a while, but if a while turned into a longer while, we might start to question our strength. But we're never in a place of, oh, this is so uncomfortable. I hope we don't hold it that long. Okay. If that's the case, that's when you back off a little bit. All right. Take a breath. I want you to keep your hips down. You may bring them more forward, but reach out here. And then we're going to unhinge. Think of making a big circle. I got to tie my shoes and then come all the way back up. Good. Now, if you need assistance, put your hand on your leg and I can just circle with one hand. And that gives me a little bit of back support. Of course, most importantly, keep that breath moving. One more. Hands to the floor. Step back to downward dog. Good. Spread out those palms. Push your fingertips into the floor. And find your plank or your tabletop. Still pushing through the fingertips. And chaturanga to up dog. Good. Your heart rate might be a little bit up, and that's okay. Take your knees wide. Big exhale. Sit back into that child's pose. Breathe deep here. Find your breath. And come back to tabletop. And now we're just going to cat cow. So as you roll up, pressing that spine to the ceiling, this is your cat stretch. Find a big inhale in cat stretch. And your exhale takes you all the way down into cow. Inhale into cow. And roll all the way up into cat. Take a big breath there. Come all the way back down into cow. And now find your neutral spine. Tuck your feet. And we're going to go back to downward dog. Good. Take a step forward with your left leg and turn your right leg. So now we're going to have that front heel and back arch of your foot lined up. And we find our warrior two. So now it's like we're sliding between two panes of glass. I'm still pressing outward with this left leg that's in the front, and I'm squeezing my back leg. It's like if somebody came to kick your knee out from behind you. That's not very nice. Your leg would be stable. You're not going to fall. Good. And just take a moment while we hold this. Roll your shoulders. Get those shoulders out of your ears. Good. Now see if you can sink this front hamstring. If it feels okay, a little bit lower. And we're going to lift into Sun Warrior. Just let your breath keep moving. Straighten your legs. Now reach out beyond your left leg. Take a breath. Exhale and hinge over into triangle. Remember, we're not necessarily trying to go to the floor. Wherever that left hand winds up, it's light. So you should be able to hold your position and move your left hand because the pose is in the legs and in the core. It's not in the hands. See if you can breathe into that space on the top here between your right ribs and your right hip. Good. Turn toward the top of your mat. You're going to take your right leg and just step halfway in. Unhinge. Good. This is actually a Tai Chi move. Most of you are familiar with it. It's all about the legs. So I'm going to keep my heart tall. So I'm not doing this. Okay. It does happen, but it's more in my legs. So you can adjust your back foot. I actually like to turn mine out a little bit. A split fold, I'm probably going to be both legs forward. But for this, I might turn a little bit. So I'm sitting back into my back leg. This leg stays straight and I'm reaching down just like I did before, but look how straight my back is, right? So I'm not rounded. And I'm coming all the way up. Push through your back leg. Inhale down. Exhale up. Inhale down and exhale up. Now, if your front foot stays toe down, that's fine. But if it wants to roll up onto the heel, that's okay too. Let's go two more. Wherever you're at, remember your movement shouldn't necessarily match mine. Your movement should match your breath. My movement matches my breath. Take a breath. When you get to that last one at the top, step in and bend your knees forward, soft fold. Really round the spine here. So as straight as you were just keeping your back, now it's rounded. Good. Inhale, standing extension. Now those legs are straight. Pull the ribs off the hips. Exhale, fold crown of the head toward the floor. Modifying this where you need to. Remember, it's always okay to just come here. Good. Bend your knees. Lift your gaze, unhinge. And we are back in mountain pose. Take a breath and bring the hands to prayer. Good job. We're just going to take 3 renewing breaths here. Good. And inhale up. Hands can stay in prayer if you want. Sink into your chair. Now, just to vary, if you want to take your chair into a different position, maybe wider, maybe narrower, you can do that. Or just do exactly what you did before. Maybe we feel that fatigue a little more this time. So maybe we're not going to drop as low. Maybe we felt too good after the last one, so we decide to go lower. Yeah, you decide. Good. Lift that mountain pose. Bring the hands down by your side. Find your posture. Good. And decide what you're going to do with the arms. If they're going to stay in prayer, yeah, you could just do this. That's fine too. Take a breath. Down we go. Chair, press, and lift. Now, whatever you're deciding to do here with this movement, focus on keeping your weight in your heels, but I still feel the four corners of my feet touching the floor. Let's do four more wherever we're at. Once you get to that last one, take a breath, roll your shoulders open. Good. Inhale, forward hinge and fold. Good. Step back with your left foot. Walk that right foot wider. And we're going to come up into our warrior one. Good. Feel that core in tight. Feel this wider stance here, allowing you to open up your hips towards the top of your mat. Pull your core in. Here we go. Back is straight. You might come forward with that hamstring, but notice I'm not coming forward in the knee. And up we go. Oh, she just brought me a toy. Y'all just wish you were so loved. And down. Thank you. And up. Find that breath. Again, we're not rounding the spine. Two more wherever you're at. Hands go to the floor. Step back to downward dog. Whose yoga mat is this? And let's find our plank. Chaturanga to up dog. Good. Press that back. Knees apart, feet together, and child's pose. Well done. Bring yourself up to tabletop and just enjoy that cat cow again. Inhale in the pose. Exhale through the pose to the next pose. Check in with your jaw. Make sure your jaw is soft. Good. And just one more wherever you're at, cat or cow, cow or cat. Tuck your feet and lift to downward dog. Lift your right leg and we're going to step forward. Now turn your left foot and we're lining up that right heel with the arch of the left foot. Find your breath and find your warrior two. Good. Feel this outward knee, this knee pressing to the outside. Strong legs here. Take a breath. And we lift. Sun warrior. If you want to drop that front leg a little more, you can. Back hand goes to the back of the leg. Strong leg back there. Straighten. And we'll reach out beyond our right leg. Over we go. Find that hinge. Again, it's not in the arms. So I can hold my pose and move this bottom arm. Even if I'm on my shin, I'm still light. Just enjoy those breaths. Feel this opening here in the left rib cage down to the left hip. Turn toward the top of your mat. Step halfway in and unhinge. Good. We're going to prepare for that grinding corn. Take your toes and turn them out. There's no right and wrong position for the back leg. You find what works for you. We just want to make sure we're protecting the hip joint and the knee joint. Here we go. Sit into your back leg. This foot does whatever it wants, up or down. Reach. And so picture a huge circle here. The bigger the circle, the better. Now, if you can't reach, I can almost reach to the floor and I actually have to keep myself from dragging my hands because I could. So we don't want to do that. But if you can't get that low, look, this is okay too. Long, straight spine, using the core behind you here. And we'll do two more wherever you're at. Step in on that last one. Bend your knees, soft fold, long, rounded spine here. Inhale, standing extension, lengthen that spine past, or your ribs rather, past your hips. Take a breath, exhale and fold. And just take a second to notice if you're folding further than when you started class. Bend your knees and unhinge. And roll the shoulders. Good, take a breath. Exhale, hinge and fold. Then walk back to downward dog. Okay, we're going to lift our left leg into three-leg dog. Of course, if you're in tabletop, you can just extend your leg behind you. And now we're going to pull the heel into the hamstring and you're going to open toward your left. So here's your tabletop version. Really trying to pull that hip flexor open. If you're in downward dog, you're looking under that left arm. Reset your three-leg dog. And now kickstand out to the side. So I look like I'm in a plank with a kickstand. Just lower that right hip to the floor, top of the foot to the floor. This is split leg up dog. It's not a split. Good. So lots of options coming your way. We're going to thread the needle here. So that means we're going to take the right arm to the left leg. If you need to lay to your side first, then grab your leg, you can. You can also not grab your foot and just grab your knee. Once you're in this supine revolved big toe hold, take a breath and reach out with that left arm. Just let that left arm become heavy. It's okay if it's not touching the floor, but if that bothers your arm, just turn your palm down. Feel your shoulder rise and fall with your breath. Good. Release your leg. Roll back to your belly or push up into tabletop if there's a belly in your way. Good. And we're going to reach out with our arms, or you're in tabletop. Take a breath, reach back with your right leg. And I'm just grabbing my right foot with my right arm, pushing my hip down, lifting my knee. So here's our tabletop option. We can't really reach forward with the same side. That's really hard. So if we're in tabletop, we're going to reach left and back to right. So pick your option there. And good. We're just going to switch sides. So my right arm extends and reaches back to my left leg if I'm in tabletop. If I'm laying down, I'm reaching left to left. Good. Release that. We're all going to go to tabletop. Now walk your hands out, but don't move your hips back. Press your heart to the floor. This is playful puppy. If it doesn't bother your neck, you can put your chin on the floor and look at the top of your mat. I like to put my forehead on the mat. Good. Walk yourself up. Come all the way up to your shins. And we're just going to roll our shoulders here. Inhale up. Turn to your right. Revolved half camel. Push your left hip forward. You're still squeezing both glutes. Hand can go to the heel or the back of the thigh, wherever it works for you. Soften those hips to come back to that center. Inhale up, and we go the other way. Remember, this is about relaxing the front of your body, not bending as far as you can. and release. Good. We're going to go back to our downward dog or tabletop. And we're going to lift the right leg. Pull the heel into your hamstring, even if you're in tabletop. Exhale and look over to your right. So if you're in three-leg dog, you're looking under your right arm. That strong arm. Reset your three-leg dog. And now come forward with a kickstand. So I just look like I'm in plank with a kickstand. Take a breath. Release the hip to the floor. Top of the foot to the floor. Lift your heart. Good. So we're going to thread the needle. Go to your side first if you need to. Big toe hold, or bend the knee and grab the knee with that left leg. Exhale and roll yourself open with your upper body. Again, if your arm doesn't touch the floor, that's okay. I do want you to pay attention to your left leg. That's your bottom leg. Keep it reaching. It's easy to kind of relax it, but we actually want to anchor it to the floor. Good. From here, go back to tabletop or lay on your belly. Extend your arms out. Good. And we'll do, if you're on your belly, if you're prone, you're going to do left arm to left leg again. If you're in tabletop, right arm to left leg. Of course, it's okay if you can't reach, right? Just do the best you can. Good, release that. And the other side, so right to right or right to left if you're on your knees. And release. Press up to tabletop if you're not already there. Walk your hands out, but leave your hips where they are. Roll your shoulders into your back pockets. Find your heart. Drop your heart to the floor. Pressing through the pinky fingers here. Get a sense of your elbows drawing in towards each other. Feel your long spine here as you breathe. And lift. Walk that up. Good. Go ahead and go back to downward dog. And then from here, just walk yourself to the top of your mat. Inhale into your standing extension. One more time to lengthen that spine standing. And exhale and fold. Good. Lift your head, bend your knees, unhinge. Good job. And we're just going to go down to seated here. So you can like cross your legs and go down. You can just have a seat. I guess you could fall backwards, but I don't recommend that. So come on down. Take your legs out straight. Good. Bring the hands into prayer. Good. Take a deep breath. And if your feet need to go wider here, just like when you were standing, do that. Either way, whatever you have right now, might be your shins, might be your toes, might be the bottom of your feet. Find your sit bones, lift your heart, and on your exhale, walk your sit bones toward the back of your mat. Feel that distance between the heels and the hips. Good. From here, we're going to gather our legs and just lay all the way back. If you need to be at a slight incline, you can always put some pillows under your shoulders and your head and just create that incline. Good. Lift your feet up toward the ceiling. Take your right foot, cross it over your left quad. Now bend that left leg to 90 degrees. This is what pulls that hip. It's this mechanism with my left leg. So relax your upper body as you pull your leg in. You're really pushing your leg in, right? You're using your left leg. We tend to pull with our upper body, and then our upper body gets tense. Really, you should be able to do this without your arms. So the arms just help us relax the core a little bit more. Breathe into this opening of the hip. We're stretching the piriformis here. Good. Now, I'm going to set my left leg down, but I'm leaving my foot up. All I'm going to do with my left leg is step over toward the right side of my mat. And then I can lower my right leg to the floor. Ah, keep both of your shoulders on the floor. You can walk yourself back up and draw your knees in. And when you're ready, extend both legs up to the ceiling. And then I'm going to take my left leg across my right. And again, take that knee, your right knee, to 90 degrees. So it's my right knee that does the work. Pull your leg in or push that leg in with your leg. So I don't want to relax my right knee altogether. That's what people do. And then it's their upper body doing all the work. Let that leg work. Oh, your arms are just assisting. Breathe deep into your hip. And we're going to set the right foot down, leave your left foot up, and take your right foot, step to your left toward the left side of your mat. And then exhale. See if you can put your left foot on the mat. Come back up. Draw your legs in again. And let your feet stay together. Drop your feet to the floor, knees apart, reclined bound pose. Let your legs get heavy. If you want a little more, bring your hands to your thighs and just add a little bit of weight. Good. And we're just going to begin to move into our rest pose. Now, if that reclined bound pose is your rest pose, then just stay there. If you'd like to put the feet to the floor and the knees together, you can do that. Of course, you can go all the way out into corpse pose. You can even just lay on your side. Close your eyes. Notice your breath. Let your jaw relax. Notice the heaviness in your eyes. Take a moment to move down to your feet and let your feet relax. Let your legs be heavy. Take some time to really breathe into your hips. Release tension from your glutes and your lower back. Really take some time to breathe one breath at a time and just make your way up your spine, stopping anywhere you need to. to release tension. Let your arms be heavy. And as you arrive back to your head, just notice the softness in your jaw again. Relax the back of your neck toward the floor. When you're ready, begin to feel your body in contact with the floor. And then when you're ready, join me seated. Good. Begin to roll your shoulders. And just take those arms up. Exhale them back to prayer. Just spend a moment here. Breathe. Exhale. And God bless you guys. Namaste. Have a great Wednesday. I hope you were challenged today. If anyone needs any other modifications, please let me know. Or if something isn't working, just you can always message me. You can always talk to me now. So